So today I'm covering one topic which is again related with service oriented design in two parts. So today I'm covering the first part of service interface design tool. So today I'm covering the concept in part 1, and in part 2 I'm practically demonstrate how the design tools are again used for writing the uh, interface design document related with web services. How to create the web service interface with the help of different tools. So this is the first part, and I'm covering service interface designing tool, the part 1 concept. So let us start the concept used in designing the service interfaces. So service interface design tool. Generally, we know that whenever we are designing the web service designing is after analysis. When the candidate web services are again identified, then the visual document is again generated. So generating the visual document or designing the visual document. For designing the visual document, we are using the XML technology. The standard is used as a XML. So XML schema definition is used for writing the visual document. So visual document is made up of XML tags, and with the help of this visual document, the user is able to retrieve, user is able to call the web services in this client application. So web service interface designing tool. In a web service designing phase, the first step is what? We have not yet again computerized the means program the web services. We are in analysis and designing phase. So in analysis and designing phase, the primary deliverables for web services is what? The physical service interface definition. So this physical service interface definition is again made up of visual document, and that visual document is the procedure, the deliverable, first deliverable after the designing phase is given to the developer. So developer use the visual, and that visual input is given by the given in the designing phase. So designing phase, so designing the visual document. So visual document is nothing but the physical service interface. So service interface is designed with the help of visual document. So we have already identified the candidate services. So after identifying, analyzing the candidate, after analysis, we have identified the service candidate, and now we are designing the service candidate. For designing the service candidate or interface, we have to use the visual and XML schema markup language. So this physical service interface definition document is made up of visual and XML schema markup language. The XML schema document is nowadays the technology provider. So .NET, Java, PHP, or Python, they provide you auto-generated visual document. So you that auto-generated visual document. I'm showing you practically demonstration in my second part. So for generating the visual or XML schema definition markup code, the auto-generated deployment utility is nowadays provided by technology provider. So Java is providing you automatically auto-generated visual document. ASP.NET is also providing you automated visual document. So how to generate this visual document? For generating the visual document, you require a class. This class is called as component class. So I'm showing you the demonstration of Java component class, how the class is written, and with the help of that class, how the visual is automatically generated. So I'm showing you the practical demonstration in my part 2 video. So first I'm just explaining you the conceptual part related with the service interface designing tool. So component class is required for generating the WSDL document. So with the help of component class, the user is able to develop the WSDL document. So auto generation of service interface is a feature provided by most of the prominent development platforms. Platform may be in Java, the Axis provider, they provide you the platform for generating the web services in Java. So Axis 1 implementation I am showing you practically in my part 2 video. Visual Studio is also provide you the platform. So Microsoft is also providing you the platform for creating the service interfaces auto-generated. So there are some designing tools nowadays available on Google. So with the help of that designing tool, you can drag and drop the different tags which are used in creating the WSDL document. To create the WSDL, you require XML tagging. And these XML tags are again dragged and dropped with the help of designing tools. Nowadays, these designing tools are again available, and with the help of drag and drop, you use these designing tools. We know that we know the Visual Studio. Visual Studio is also providing you drag and drop facility. It provides you the toolbox, and from the toolbox you drag and drop the toolbox items. For example, text box or button or label or grid view. Different tools they have provided, and from that toolbox, the user is able to drag and drop this feature. So that drag and drop avoid you the typing effort. But when we use this type of automated tool, different questions arises in the minds of developers. So these questions are: does this tool allow you to take the ownership? We are auto-generating the WSDL file. So that WSDL, that tool is providing you the ownership. The answer is yes, then you prefer that particular tool. If no, then don't use that tool. The second question arises in the mind of developer is, does this tool allow you to view the existing WSDL definition accurately? If the answer is yes, then prefer that tool. If the answer is no, don't use this tool for design. So does the tool validate accurately against the W3C WSDL specification? W3C means what? World Wide Web Consortium. World Wide Web Consortium is one agency. They provide you the standards for writing the web services. And that tool is follow that particular standard provided by W3C or not. If yes, then you use that tool. No, you avoid that tool. And the fourth question arises in the mind of designers or developers is, does this tool allow you to edit and manipulate the created WSDL definition without inserting the unwanted markup? We know that whenever you're using the drag and drop, the huge code, it provide you the huge code, automated code. So reading that automated code is again difficult task for the designer or developer. So without inserting unwanted markup, does this particular tool allows you to edit and maintain the WSDL? If the answer is yes, then go for that particular tool. If the answer is no, then you avoid this particular tool. The third topic is the hand coding. So in the olden days, the developer or designer, they code the WSDL documents with the help of their hands. So they use different editors, XML or text editor, for writing the WSDL code. And this XML editor provides the input for writing the XML tag, just like HTML editor provide you HTML tool. And similarly, this type of tools provide you the editor provide you the tool for writing the code. So the tools are Notepad++, Code Browser, Microsoft XML Notepad, and the XML pad. So out of these four tools, the three tools are again free. Notepad++, Microsoft XML Notepad, and XML pad is again free tools. So you use these free tools in your application. Code Browser is a paid tool. It's provided by the developer. So these are the hand coding tools are again available, and developer use this type of hand coding tools for writing the visual document, XML schema definition language. So today I have covered the conceptual part of this service interface designing tool. In my next lecture, I am showing you how to automatically generate the visual file using the uh, component class, and how to open this particular tool using Notepad++, Microsoft XML Notepad, or XML pad editor. So practical demonstration I am showing you in my next video in second part. So today I am covering just